Just to give you a little background for those that are not familiar with WRCOG, we're located about 60 miles east of downtown LA. We cover an area of about 2,100 square miles. We have a current population of about 1.8 million, and we're expected to grow by nearly 800,000 between now and year 2035, reaching about 2.5 million. And you know, we're often the poster child for traffic, for sprawl, for congestion, for poor air quality, you name it. Achieving a sustainable quality of life really became a priority for our elected officials. There was much discussion that went into the challenges of traditional financing sources, especially financing sources or funding sources for sustainability. You have your municipal budgets that are perpetually constrained. Rebates are great, but they require a significant amount of upfront cash. Grants are also good, but they're also very limited in what type of activities they fund. They're highly competitive and it can take a lot of resources to even submit a grant. So sometimes you're left with a hole in your program if the grant doesn't cover that. So the Beyond program was really meant to be a solution to these traditional financing sources and be, and no pun intended, but a sustainable funding source for sustainability projects. The source of funding for the Beyond program is our wildly successful HERO program. And since it was initiated back in 2011, we've accumulated some revenues. And so we've carried over those revenues, and our elected officials decided that they would like to use a portion of it, that being 60% in this first initial round, or equal to 1.8 million, to really give it back directly to our local governments to implement projects. It's a non-competitive grant, and we've allocated the funding based on jurisdictional population. We also have a set amount in this initial round, anywhere from a minimum of 16,000 up to, I think our highest number is 169, 170,000. And it's an 18-month cycle, so they have 18 months to use the project. And the only string attached is that they must use the funds to implement WRCOG's sustainability framework. And I often say sustainability means different things to different folks, but for WRCOG, for the Western Riverside County region, 6 priorities emerged. That being economic development, education, health, transportation, energy and the environment, and water. And we recognize the interrelationship between those 6 priority areas. And we said that in order for the subregion to be sustainable and to achieve a sustainable quality of life, we need to advance all 6 of those priority areas. And so hence we came up with activities that are kind of organized into each of those sectors or those 6 priority areas. And therefore the Beyond funding is meant to be used to implement any of those activities. We've gotten a lot of questions ourselves on, can we participate in the Beyond framework? And unfortunately, it's just for our WRCOG jurisdictions right now, but I think it can serve as a successful model or best practice for other, whether it's an individual city or a subregion or a COG or an MPO, in trying to problem solve. So I think coming up, identifying what those challenges are in the traditional financing sources, but much of it comes from the source. We were lucky in that we developed and sunk a lot of upfront money into the HERO program, and it was wildly successful, but cities can use fee programs, surcharges on utilities, and dedicate a specific funding pot and put these parameters in place to help create a sustainable funding source for sustainability.